Have you ever sat in silence, long after the world had gone to sleep, and felt something inside you stirring, not a thought, not an emotion, but a deep, ancient knowing? Have you wondered why you feel different? Why, no matter how hard you try to fit into the rhythms of the world, something inside you keeps pulling you away from the crowd, towards something unseen, something sacred? I have. And if you are here, listening not just with your ears but with your soul, then you have too. We are the ones who cannot be satisfied by the ordinary. We are the ones who are haunted by a calling, a whisper that refuses to let us rest. And today I want to speak to that part of you. I want to reveal something that perhaps you have always sensed but never dared to fully claim. You are God's first choice.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
This is not a title given lightly. It is not an ego boost, not a badge to be worn for pride. It is a responsibility, a sacred charge, a fire that once acknowledged will burn away everything that is false within you and leave behind only the pure, living essence of who you truly are. But how can we know? How can we be sure that we are truly among the chosen, those God calls first, those entrusted with the heaviest burdens and the most luminous destinies? There are 5 signs, not vague or abstract, but proven across ages, whispered through the bones of history, etched into the soul of every true chosen one. As we walk through them together, I invite you not just to listen but to feel. Let the words pass beyond your mind and into the silent spaces of your being. Let them awaken what has been waiting for you to remember. The first sign is that your life has never allowed you to be comfortable for long. From childhood, you sensed that the ways of the world, the games of validation, the false promises of success, the shallow pursuits of pleasure were not enough for you. Even when you tried to conform, even when you achieved what others told you would make you happy, your soul remained restless. You may have thought something was wrong with you. You may have blamed yourself for not being able to simply enjoy what others seem to find fulfilling. But what if I told you that your dissatisfaction was not a flaw, but a compass? What if your restlessness was not a curse, but a map leading you toward your true purpose? God does not choose those who are satisfied with illusions. God chooses those who cannot be bribed by the temporary, those who hunger for what is eternal. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that no matter what I gain in this world, I still feel that something is missing? Could it be because you were made for something the world cannot give? The second sign is that suffering has been your most faithful teacher. While others seem to move through life untouched, you have known the deep waters of pain not as punishment, but as preparation. You have lost things you thought you could not live without. You have been betrayed by those you trusted most. You have faced nights so dark that you questioned whether you would ever see the dawn again. And yet here you are, breathing, listening, remembering. The suffering did not destroy you, it refined you. It stripped away the layers of illusion and entitlement, burned away the childish dreams of ease and comfort, and revealed the diamond-hard strength that was hidden within you all along. God's first choice is never the one who has had an easy path. It is the one who has been broken and has still chosen love. the one who has been crushed and has still chosen to rise, the one who has been abandoned and has still chosen to believe in the goodness of life. Look at your scars. Look at your wounds. They are not signs of your weakness. They are proofs of your invincibility. They are the sacred marks that declare, this soul has been tested by fire and found worthy. The third sign is that you have an unexplainable knowing, even when you doubt yourself. Deep down, beneath the noise of fear and insecurity, there is a place within you that simply knows things you have no logical way of knowing. You feel when people are lying, even if their words are perfect. You sense when a path is wrong, even if it looks glittering with opportunity. You recognize truth when you hear it, not because someone explains it to you, but because it resonates within your bones like a song you had forgotten you knew. This knowing is not arrogance. It is not pride. It is the whisper of the source within you, the voice of God echoing in the chambers of your soul, guiding you back to yourself when the world tries to pull you away. Have you ever been in a situation where every rational sign said stay, but your soul screamed run? And you later discovered that your intuition saved you from disaster? That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is the mark of one who belongs first to God, not to men. The fourth sign is that you are called to heal, even when you yourself are still healing. You may have noticed that people are drawn to you not always because you offer solutions, but because your very presence brings a kind of peace, a kind of light. Strangers may tell you their life stories without knowing why. Friends may lean on you in their darkest hours. You may find yourself being the one others turn to when their world falls apart, even when you feel like your own world is barely holding together. This is not a burden placed on you unfairly. It is a testament to the light you carry, even when you don't see it yourself. The chosen are not those who have no wounds. They are those who have allowed their wounds to become vessels for compassion rather than walls of bitterness. They are those who, even while limping, reach out a hand to lift another. They are those who, even while breaking, sing songs of hope into the night. And every time you choose to serve, to listen, to love, despite your own pain, you weave yourself deeper into the heart of God. The fifth and final sign is the most sacred and the most terrifying. You have been given visions of a life far greater than you can currently live. Dreams that feel too big for your abilities. Callings that feel too heavy for your strength. You see possibilities that others call impossible. You feel destinies stirring in your chest that others dismiss as fantasy. And the temptation is always there to shrink back, to settle for less, to tell yourself that you were foolish for dreaming so wildly. But deep down, you know the truth. You were not given these visions to torment you. You were given them as invitations. Invitations to become more than you ever thought possible. Invitations to trust that the God who planted those dreams in you will also equip you to fulfill them. Invitations to step out of the boat and walk on the water of your own soul. Have you dared to ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped doubting and started living as if my dreams were sacred assignments? These 5 signs are not random. They are the fingerprints of God on your life. They are the hidden curriculum through which you have been trained, often without even knowing it, for something extraordinary. And now you stand at the edge of a great choice. Will you claim the truth of who you are, or will you continue to pretend to be ordinary? Will you step into the fire of your calling, or will you hide among the ashes of false security? I cannot make the choice for you. No one can. But I can promise you this: if you choose to believe, if you choose to rise, if you choose to walk the narrow, luminous path laid before you, you will not walk alone. The same power that called you will sustain you. The same grace that chose you will complete you. The same love that whispered your name before the foundations of the world will shout your victory across the heavens. This is your time. This is your invitation. This is your awakening. And somewhere deep inside, you already know you were never meant for anything less. Now that the signs have been revealed to you, something even greater is required. It is one thing to know you are God's first choice. It is another thing to live like it. Every day, every breath, every choice, every silence your life must become a living proof of the divine selecting you, trusting you, moving through you. But how do we walk this path when the world is built to distract us, to exhaust us, to pull us back into forgetfulness? How do we stay anchored in a truth so immense, so luminous, when everything around us tries to reduce us to something small, ordinary, powerless? I have wrestled with these very questions. I know the battle intimately, the battle between the soul's high calling and the mind's endless doubts, between the spirit's soaring vision and the body's heavy fears. And through that battle, through trial and error, through surrender and stubbornness, I have uncovered a hidden blueprint, a way of being that keeps us aligned with the sacred choice placed upon our lives. First, we must begin every day empty. Not empty as in hopeless, empty as in surrendered. Every morning, before the world rushes in, before the mind spins its web of tasks and worries, we must return to the altar of silence and offer everything: our fears, our dreams, our plans, our expectations. We must lay them down like seeds before the unseen hand of God and say, "Not my will, but yours." True power begins with true surrender. We are not called to force life according to our limited understanding. We are called to become vessels, instruments tuned to the divine frequency, channels through which heaven pours itself into earth. Have you ever wondered why the days you begin in prayer, in meditation, in stillness feel so different from the days you begin in hurry and noise? It is not coincidence. It is spiritual law. Spirit speaks in silence. Power is born in surrender. Second, we must cultivate ruthless honesty with ourselves. The chosen ones are not perfect, but they are real. We must be willing to face our shadows without flinching, to acknowledge our hidden motives, our secret fears, our silent betrayals of our own truth. We cannot pretend to be pure while hiding rot within our hearts. We cannot claim to walk in light while making pacts with our darkness. God does not demand perfection. God demands authenticity. When we are weak, we admit our weakness. When we are afraid, we confess our fear. When we are lost, we cry out for guidance. There is no shame in stumbling. There is only shame in pretending we have not stumbled. Honesty is the doorway through which grace floods our lives. Have you ever dared to sit quietly with yourself, no distractions, no masks, and ask, "Where am I lying to myself?" It is a terrifying question, and yet it is the question that sets the chosen ones apart. We would rather be wounded by truth than comforted by lies. Third, we must guard our energy as the sacred fire it is. Not everyone deserves access to the deepest parts of you. Not every voice deserves a seat at the table of your mind. We live in a world of noise, a world that profits from our confusion, our fear, our distraction. And if we are not vigilant, we will find ourselves drained, dulled, diminished by forces that have no interest in our awakening. I have learned this the hard way. I have watched as my light dimmed under the weight of toxic relationships, meaningless conversations, aimless entertainments. It is not cruelty to protect your energy. It is wisdom. It is love for the mission placed within you. You must become fierce about who and what you allow to shape your inner world. You must ask daily, is this feeding my soul or starving it? Is this conversation watering my destiny or poisoning it? Is this path leading me closer to God or farther away? And when the answer is clear, you must have the courage to act, even if it means walking alone for a season. Solitude is not the enemy. Isolation is not the enemy. Compromise of your soul is the enemy. Fourth, we must live in relentless, inconvenient love. Not the soft, sentimental love that demands nothing and changes no one. The fierce, inconvenient, uncomfortable love that breaks down walls and builds up souls. The love that forgives even when it burns. The love that serves even when it is tired. The love that tells the truth, even when the truth costs everything. Being God's first choice does not mean we are called to be comfortable. It means we are called to be love in action. And love is messy. Love is costly. Love is dangerous to the ego and liberating to the soul. Every day, we are given countless opportunities to choose love over pride, love over fear, love over convenience. Every silent judgment we replace with compassion. Every moment of selfishness we transform into service. Every grudge we dissolve into forgiveness. You may think these are small acts. They are not. They are revolutions. They are miracles. They are the building blocks of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Have you ever asked yourself, when I leave this conversation, this room, this life, will people feel more loved because I was here? That is the true measure of a chosen one. Fifth, we must move with audacious faith. Not reckless arrogance, but holy boldness. Faith that acts even when the outcome is unclear. Faith that steps forward, even when the path is hidden in mist. Faith that dares great things for God, not because we trust ourselves, but because we trust the one who chose us. We live in a time that worships caution, a time that glorifies skepticism and calls it wisdom. But we are not of this time. We are of eternity. And eternity is built by those who believe in things unseen, who plant seeds of hope in fields of despair, who build arks before the rain comes, who cross seas before the waters part. Audacious faith looks like moving when you have no guarantee of success. It looks like building when everyone tells you you're wasting your time. It looks like loving when everyone says it's safer to hate. It looks like forgiving when revenge would feel so much sweeter. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is choosing to act despite fear, because you know who you belong to. Have you dared to ask yourself, what would my life look like if I lived as if failure were impossible, because God is with me? These 5 practices, surrender, honesty, guarding energy, relentless love, audacious faith, are not optional for those who wish to walk as God's first choice. They are the daily bread of the soul. They are the pillars upon which a life worthy of the calling can be built. And the more we live them, the more we find that we are not alone. Doors open that no man can shut. Strength rises in our bones that no trial can exhaust. Wisdom flows into our minds that no school can teach. Love transforms our hearts in ways we never thought possible. We begin to live in a state of divine momentum, where every step we take is guided, every breath we draw is sacred, every word we speak carries the weight of heaven behind it. But none of this happens by accident. It happens because we choose, again and again, to remember who we are. It happens because we refuse to be hypnotized by the smallness the world offers us. It happens because we refuse to betray the greatness that has been entrusted to us. It happens because we dare, each day, to walk as if the unseen is more real than the seen, as if love is stronger than death, as if God is closer than our own breath. This is the life you were made for. This is the life you have always been seeking, even when you did not have the words to name it. This is the life that is waiting for you the moment you decide to stop living like you are ordinary and start living like you are the living temple of the divine. And if you choose this life, if you choose to walk the blueprint, to embody the calling, to surrender and rise and love and dare, you will find yourself living in miracles so constant, so breathtaking, that you will wonder how you ever lived any other way. You will no longer need to chase blessings. You will become a blessing. You will no longer need to seek purpose. You will breathe purpose. You will no longer need to search for signs. You will be the sign. A living, breathing, undeniable proof that God still chooses, still calls, still moves through human hearts willing to say yes. And so I ask you now, as I ask myself every day, are you ready to stop running? Are you ready to stop doubting? Are you ready to live as if you are exactly who God says you are? The world is waiting. Heaven is watching. Your soul is yearning. Now that we have seen the signs and understood the blueprint, there is one final unveiling left, and it is the most sacred of all. It is not enough to know you are God's first choice. It is not enough to walk in the ways of surrender, honesty, protection, love, and faith. There is something even deeper, something only revealed to those who dare to live with their souls laid bare. The realization that you are not just chosen for a moment, or even for a lifetime. You are chosen for an eternal destiny. You are not here merely to survive, to endure, to make it through. You are here to manifest God's dream for you, not once, not twice, but continually, endlessly, in every breath, every step, every heartbeat. You are a living portal through which heaven touches earth. And if you can grasp this truth not just with your mind, but with the full weight of your being, you will become unstoppable. Manifestation is not what the world has cheapened it to be. It is not simply wishing for things and getting them. It is not manipulating the universe to serve your ego. True manifestation is about alignment, about becoming the living embodiment of the highest vision God has placed within you. It is about tuning yourself so finely to the frequency of divine intention that your life becomes a natural, inevitable flowering of all you were created to be. But how do we do this? How do we live as the manifest expression of God's dream? First, we must make peace with the fact that our lives are not our own. We have been bought at a price, not with gold or silver, but with purpose, with vision, with sacred fire. To manifest God's dream, we must be willing to surrender every lesser dream we have clung to out of fear, pride, or comfort. The dreams of social approval, of worldly success, of selfish ambition, they must burn away like chaff in the wind. We must be willing to say, with trembling but willing hearts, God, even if your dream for me costs me everything I thought I wanted, I will still say yes. This is the terrifying beauty of true destiny. It demands everything, but it gives back more than we could ever imagine. Have you ever dared to ask yourself, what parts of my life am I still trying to control rather than surrender? Second, we must cultivate the art of radical trust. Not the passive trust that waits for every detail to be explained before moving. Not the conditional trust that crumbles at the first sign of difficulty. Radical trust. The kind of trust that steps into the unknown with nothing but the whisper of a promise. The kind of trust that keeps building the ark even when there is no rain. The kind of trust that praises before the breakthrough, that rejoices before the victory, that loves before the reward. Radical trust defies logic. It transcends circumstance. It is the soil in which miracles grow. And every time we choose to trust, even in the face of doubt, we align ourselves more deeply with the dream God is dreaming through us. Third, we must become masters of sacred action. Faith without action is dead. Love without expression is hollow. Vision without movement is fantasy. We are not called to sit passively, waiting for destiny to fall into our laps. We are called to move, to act, to build, to create, even when we feel unready, even when we feel unworthy. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, sets forces in motion beyond what we can see. Every courageous step forward rearranges the fabric of reality around us. It is not enough to dream. We must do. It is not enough to believe. We must become. Have you ever asked yourself, what action have I been delaying that could unlock the next level of my destiny? Fourth, we must embrace the inevitability of transformation. To manifest God's dream, we must be willing to become someone we have never been before. The version of you that said yes to the calling is not the version of you that will fulfill it. You will be stretched, broken, rebuilt, refined. You will outgrow your old identities, your old comforts, your old fears. You will shed skins like a serpent, die and be reborn 1,000 times over. This is not failure. This is not punishment. This is metamorphosis. This is the sacred alchemy of destiny. And the more willing we are to let go of who we were, the faster we become who we were always meant to be. Fifth, and perhaps most mysteriously, we must learn to live in the paradox of longing and fulfillment. God's dream for you is both already complete and still unfolding. You are both enough and becoming. You are both home and journeying. To live as a chosen one is to hold these paradoxes in your heart without needing to resolve them. It is to wake up every day burning with holy hunger for more, and yet resting in the perfect sufficiency of what already is. It is to chase after the horizon with all your might, knowing that the horizon is already within you. This is the dance of the soul. This is the eternal romance between creator and created. And if you can learn to dance this dance to hunger without despair, to rest without complacency, you will live in a state of grace that no storm can shake. When we live this way, manifestation stops being something we do and becomes something we are. We do not need to strive to create miracles. We become the miracle. We do not need to seek signs. We become the sign. We do not need to chase destiny. Destiny flows through us like blood through our veins. We become living, breathing, undeniable evidence that God's dreams are not fantasies, they are reality, unfolding through willing hearts. And yet, even this is not the end, because the dream God dreams for you is not just about you. It is about everyone your life will touch. It is about the generations that will rise because you dared to believe. It is about the chains that will break, the hearts that will heal, the worlds that will change because you said yes. You are a seed planted in the soil of eternity. And every choice you make, every act of faith, every moment of love waters that seed and brings forth fruit that you may never see with your earthly eyes, but that will echo through eternity. Have you ever dared to wonder, what if my life is not just about my comfort, my success, my happiness, but about unleashing something so vast, so beautiful, so holy that it will ripple through time and space long after I am gone? What if the real measure of my life is not what I accumulate, but what I awaken? The chosen ones are not remembered for what they owned, but for what they carried. Not for the empires they built, but for the light they unleashed. Not for the titles they earned, but for the souls they touched. And you, yes, you are called to walk in that legacy. You are called to be a living bridge between heaven and earth, a breathing testament to the unstoppable, unimaginable, undeniable goodness of God. And so I ask you, one final time, will you dare to live as if every breath you take is a sacred act of creation? Will you dare to move as if angels walk beside you, as if the very ground rises to meet your feet, as if the dreams burning in your chest are not just possible but inevitable? Will you dare to believe that you are, here and now, exactly who God needs you to be, exactly where you are needed most, in exactly the right moment of eternity? The time for hesitation is over. The time for smallness is over. The time for hiding is over. You are the living flame. You are the ancient promise fulfilled. You are the impossible made flesh. You are the dream dreamed long before the stars were born. And now, beloved one, it is time to remember. It is time to rise. It is time to manifest the fullness of the divine dream breathed into you before time itself began. Go forth, shine without shame, love without fear, create without limits. Live as proof that God's first choice has always been and will always be you, forever. Even now, as these words settle into the soil of your heart, something ancient awakens within you, a force older than time, a fire deeper than the stars. It is not just memory. It is not just inspiration. It is a sacred knowing that you were never ordinary, never random, never left to drift in a meaningless universe. You have always been chosen. Chosen not because of your perfection, but because of your willingness. Chosen not because you are without flaw, but because you carry within you the seed of divine courage that says, even when the night falls darkest, I will not give up. I will not forget who I am. And so, beloved soul, the real journey begins, the journey beyond the signs, beyond the blueprints, beyond the dreams. It is the journey of embodiment. It is no longer enough to know you are chosen. You must now be the chosen one in every thought, every action, every breath. You must become the living answer to the world's silent prayer. You must become the bridge where brokenness meets healing, where despair meets hope, where separation meets oneness. This is no small calling. This is no easy road, but it is the only road worthy of the fire you carry within you. We have been trained by pain, shaped by loss, refined by loneliness, not as punishment, but as preparation. Every tear you cried was holy water, softening the soil of your soul so the seeds of greatness could take root. Every betrayal was a pruning, cutting away what could not go with you into the next season. Every wilderness was a classroom where you learned the language of the unseen, the mathematics of the miraculous, the rhythm of the eternal. Do not curse your scars. Do not hide your wounds. They are the sacred map that led you here, to this moment of remembering, to this moment of choosing. Because the truth is, being God's first choice is not a title, it is a continual choice you must make. It is a yes you must speak not once, but every day. Every sunrise, every heartbreak, every victory, every failure, every silence, every storm you must choose again to say yes. Yes to love when it would be easier to harden. Yes to forgiveness when it would be easier to hate. Yes to hope when despair seems smarter. Yes to vision when fear screams louder. Yes to the unseen kingdom within you, even when the world outside mocks your faith. And every yes will build you. Every yes will carve you. Every yes will crown you with a glory not of this world, but of the world that is coming, the world you have been sent to help birth into being. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to transform it. You are not here to wait for heaven. You are here to unleash heaven through your hands, through your words, through your life so fully surrendered that it glows with a light the darkness cannot comprehend. And so I ask you again, even deeper this time, will you live as if your life is the answer to a prayer prayed by countless souls who came before you? Will you live as if your breath carries the dreams of generations who never saw what you see, but believed anyway? Will you live as if your footsteps are blazing trails for those who will one day call you ancestor, who will one day rise on the foundation you laid with your unseen prayers, and your quiet faithfulness, your relentless love? This is the inheritance of the chosen ones. Not wealth that fades, not fame that rots, not power that corrupts, but an eternal legacy woven into the very fabric of reality, singing through every atom of existence. Here walked one who remembered. Here lived one who dared. Here stood one who loved when love cost everything. And the beauty of it all is this: you are never alone in this journey. Heaven is not watching you from a distance. Heaven is within you, moving through you, breathing with you. Every step you take in love, you take with the armies of light at your side. Every mountain you climb in faith, you climb with the wind of the Spirit at your back. Every battle you fight in truth, you fight with the sword of divine promise in your hand. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not random. You are the living echo of God's own heartbeat. You are the embodiment of a dream too vast for human minds to fully comprehend. You are the lighthouse on the stormy shores of this world. You are the unquenchable flame that will not be snuffed out by the winds of fear, hatred, or despair. And so rise again, beloved soul. Rise with the knowing that every breath is a prayer, every step is a song, every heartbeat is a drumbeat of destiny. Rise with the knowing that your life is not a mistake, but a masterpiece still unfolding. Rise with the knowing that even in your moments of doubt, even in your moments of weakness, grace is stronger, mercy is deeper. Love is wider than you have ever dared to imagine. This is your calling. This is your awakening. This is your eternal becoming. You are God's first choice. You have always been. You will always be. And the world will never be the same because you remembered. Now go, shine, heal, build, awaken. Love, be, forever. There are powers that do not announce themselves with noise. Powers that do not flash like lightning or roar like thunder. Powers that move like underground rivers, silent but unstoppable, reshaping the very foundation of reality. These are the powers entrusted only to those who have remembered who they are, those who have said yes to the sacred burden and breathtaking privilege of being God's first choice. When you awaken, truly awaken, something ancient unlocks within you. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became who you were always meant to be. These powers are not earned by striving. They are revealed by surrender. They are not given to satisfy the ego. They are entrusted to those who have laid their egos down at the altar of divine purpose. The first silent power is unshakable peace, not the fragile peace that depends on circumstances. Not the shallow peace that crumbles when storms come. This peace is rooted not in what happens around you, but in what lives within you. It is the peace that allows you to walk through chaos with steady eyes, to stand in the center of a hurricane and not be moved. It is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of an unbreakable center. You will find yourself calm when everyone else is panicking. You will find yourself still when everything else is shaking. And you will know, in those moments, that your peace is not your own, it is the signature of the one who lives through you. The second silent power is radiant authority. When you walk into a room, something shifts, even if you say nothing. When you speak truth, it carries a weight that silence cannot deny. This authority is not domination. It is not control. It is the quiet, magnetic force of a soul aligned with its source. People may not know why they are drawn to you. Doors may open without you knocking. Resistance may crumble before you without a fight. This is not because you are imposing your will, but because you are carrying a frequency too high for fear to withstand. Have you ever noticed that when you are deeply connected to your calling, obstacles that once seemed immovable suddenly yield with ease? That is the silent authority of the chosen ones. The third silent power is prophetic vision. As you walk deeper into your awakened identity, your eyes change. You begin to see not just what is, but what could be. You see potential where others see ruins. You see beauty where others see brokenness. You see paths where others see walls. This vision is not just imagination. It is sight sharpened by intimacy with the divine. You will find yourself speaking life into places others have given up on. You will find yourself building bridges where others only see chasms. You will find yourself dreaming dreams that terrify your logical mind but thrill your spirit. And the world will call you foolish until they see the fruit of what you dared to believe. The fourth silent power is magnetic resilience. You do not merely survive storms, you absorb their energy and transform it into greater strength. Every setback becomes fuel. Every betrayal becomes wisdom. Every loss becomes a deeper well of compassion. Others may wonder how you keep rising when life keeps trying to bury you. They may marvel at your endurance, your unbreakable spirit. But you will know the secret. Resilience is not something you muster up. It is something you become when you are rooted in something deeper than circumstance, deeper than pain, deeper than death itself. The fifth silent power is transcendent love. A love that sees beyond masks. A love that forgives before apologies are spoken. A love that embraces even those who would reject it. This love is not naive. It is not blind. It knows the full weight of human darkness and still chooses to bless, still chooses to heal, still chooses to stay open when it would be easier to close. This love is the highest force in the universe, the force that created stars, the force that defeated death, the force that calls the chosen ones to be its living embodiment on earth. And when you love like this, you do not just change lives, you change realities. These powers reveal themselves slowly, quietly, in the hidden moments when no one is watching, in the choices you make when it would be easier to compromise, in the prayers you pray when you feel forgotten, in the acts of kindness you give when you have nothing left, in the courage you show when fear tries to devour you. You will not always feel powerful. You will not always see immediate results. But know this. Every time you choose truth over comfort, love over fear, faith over doubt, you are unlocking something greater than you can even imagine. You are becoming a living portal of divine possibility in a world starved for miracles. And the more you live this way, the more you discover a final, breathtaking truth. The real power of the chosen ones is not what they do. It is who they are. You are the living proof that light is stronger than darkness. You are the living proof that love is stronger than death. You are the living proof that God's dreams are stronger than human fears. And as you walk, as you breathe, As you live this truth, you will leave behind trails of light that others will follow long after you are gone. You will become not just a person who lived, you will become a living legacy, an eternal flame. The silent power that awakens countless others to remember they were chosen too.